This is the plaintiff, Nathaniel Mitchell. He says the defendant is his wife, and she owes him for mortgage payments he made for her. And now that they've separated, she refuses to pay him back. They still live in the same house together, sleep in the same bed, but at different times, and for the most part stay out of each other's way. He's tired of waiting around for his money and is suing for every penny of the $4,145 he's owed. This is the defendant, Lisa Graham Mitchell. She says her husband, the plaintiff, is acting like a child by filing this lawsuit. She pays all the bills in the household, all the utilities, and why should she pay him half the mortgage when he doesn't give her a dime for the household expenses? Owe him? Ha! She's accused of hurting a husband where it counts.
All parties, please raise your right hand. You seated? Come to order. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Nathaniel Mitchell, you are suing your wife, Lisa Graham Mitchell, for $4,145 because she's not paying half the mortgage payment and you feel that she should, and according to you, she promised she would. How long have you been married?
About going on 4 years.
And so you get married and things are looking good until they're not. When did things stop looking good?
Oh, when I got my second job.
Oh,
I
so
work
tell me
two
about
jobs.
that.
I work 2 jobs. I work at the hospital and I also work retail.
All right.
So I work 5 days, Monday through Friday at the hospital. Retail, I work 4 days a week.
Okay.
So I'm pretty much never home.
Right. So you just grew apart or you got
Pretty
bitter?
much. I'm just not home.
Yeah,
When
except
I'm
for that
home,
in your
I
answer to the
sleep.
complaint, you talk about how bitter you were that, you know, you'd come home and he's playing.
But playing the video games, house is messy. So I don't do anything in there.
And according to you, he then looks at you and says, "What's for dinner?"
Especially on the days that I am off in the evening, yes.
Okay. Would he tell you that on the days where you weren't off in the evening?
No, I don't get home till about after 12.
Okay. So you kind of felt like he wasn't pulling his weight.
No, I don't feel like he's pulling his weight.
So why don't you guys get a divorce?
He did
We
file.
have a remedy for that.
He did file for a divorce.
Oh, that finally happened? When did that happen?
Before he filed for this.
Oh, okay.
No, after he filed for this. He filed for the divorce, then he filed for this.
Okay. So, however, nobody's moved out.
No, we still sleep in the same bed.
Get out of here.
We sleep different times.
Okay.
She works her day job and her evening job, and by the time I get up to go to work, that's when she comes home, so we barely see each other.
So you work midnights? What do you do?
Yes, I work midnights. I work in a hospital, psychiatric unit.
Okay. So, yeah, that's weird anyway. Wow. Okay. So what has been your arrangement and your marriage regarding the mortgage? Is the house in both your names?
No,
Whose name is it under?
mine. In 2015, November of 2015, she came to me and said that she wanted to clear her credit report. Okay, you know, you're my wife. You know, she said she can't afford to pay the mortgage. You know, go half and half with me on the mortgage.
Which you had been doing?
Right. Before that, all the bills were split down the line, down the middle. Then when she came to me and said that she couldn't do it no more, that she wanted to clear up her credit report, I said, okay, I'm your husband. You know, we're gonna work at this. I'll take over the mortgage. You take over the small bills until you clear your credit report.
Okay.
November came again, 2016, and I'm getting phone calls on my phone about bills that's on the credit
The
report.
small bills that she's supposed to be covering that are in your name.
No, the bills that she's supposed, the debt, the credit, on her credit report, she had bills that she's supposed to pay. In 2015, she said she wanted to pay them. 2016, they calling me saying that she never paid them. So my thing was,
Where's the money
was it-
going?
Exactly.
Well, where was the money going?
Exactly.
Was she stepping out on you?
Don't even know.
Where was the money going? You have 2 jobs, and according to him, you're not paying off the debt, which is the reason that you stopped paying the mortgage.
I pay the light, the gas, the water, our cell phones. I pay bills inside the house.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. Does he get paid more than you do? Or
Yes, he does get paid more
How
than me.
significantly more or not?
I have to pay old taxes that I owe, and that's what they garnished my wages.
Okay.
And I showed Nathaniel it.
All right, so if you're still living there, why do you not think it's fair that you pay half the mortgage? You filed divorce papers a minute ago, and you weren't paying the mortgage for quite some time. And then, have you ever paid the mortgage again?
No.
All right, and you stopped when?
I stopped
November
completely.
2015.
2015. All right, so at some point, do you say to her, hey, you got to start paying the mortgage again?
Yes.
And what does she say?
She said she's going to start paying. She said give her until March of 2017. I said, okay, March 1st. No excuses now. You need to start paying.
And
March
she
1st
says,
came around. No, I'm not doing it.
And did she ask you to pay half of the other stuff to even it out?
I asked her to split the bills down the line. If we split the bills down the line, it would roughly be about $1,200 a piece for the both of us. I told her, I'm not giving up the house. I'm not leaving. Whether we stay together, whether we don't stay together, I'm not leaving my house. I put a lot of work into that house.
Right.
I
Let me
wasn't
just
home
ask
for the
you a
remodeling in
question.
the kitchen.
How is it fair that you live there and not pay any rent? I
Like
mean,
I said, I
essentially,
paid the
just
bills.
continue to live there. And why haven't this is the weirdest case, you know, because technically speaking, it's your house. You had it before the marriage. It's not marital property at all. You don't have children together.
No.
Right. It's not marital property because you owned it before, right?
Yeah.
You bought it before you guys
got
married.
married. Mm-hmm.
You bought it before you got married, right? There's no question about that, right? Right. So she's sick of you, so she's sick of paying. She doesn't want to help you pay for your investment that she's not going to see any of. And, you know, this is kind of a situation where at some point, I guess you have the right to evict her since it's all in your name. It's not communal marital property. You have a right to start the eviction process and say, hey, lady, you got to pay rent if you want to stay. If not, you got to go.
That's not what I want to do.
I know that's not what you want to do. What you want to do is, what do you want to do? Do you
Honestly,
want to
when I
get back
started-
with her,
when I-
or
when
you
I
just
started
want
the-
things to be peaceful?
No, I want things to be peaceful.
Okay.
As far as the
what do
relationship,
you want
I
to
don't
do?
want.
Do you want to get back with him, or you just want things to be peaceful?
I'm just peaceful. I go to work. I work 8 to 4 Monday through Friday.
Okay, I heard about all your back.
Right, exactly.
All right, yeah, I
ain't
know.
got
I'm
no
just
beef.
wondering why you don't contribute to the mortgage of the house, which is essentially rent, if you're living there for the last year and a half without paying it. That's the part.
Because I
I'm
pay all
finding.
the other bills.
Did you at one point say to him that you would start paying half of the bills again in March, and then did you change your mind about it?
What happened is he came to me. He started going off about what I should pay half the mortgage. I just came home from work. Whatever you say. And I went to sleep.
And then?
I'm not going to argue.
And then, no, just a second. And then?
And then what? Did I do it? No.
Right. And so tell me about how you broke it to him that you were just yesing him to get to March.
I don't answer. I go to work.
I have a question for you. Do you work?
Yeah, I do.
She constantly keeps saying she go to
I
work.
go to work.
I go to
Bye.
work too.
I don't argue with you.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Could you live in the same house that your wife or husband lived in after you separate? Could you do that?
Possibly.
Really? Wouldn't be awkward.
It depends.
What does it depend on?
Well, it depends if you had a good separation or not.
Fair enough. What do you think? Does it really depend?
No, I can't. I can't live with an ex.
Could you be jealous even if you want the relationship to be over if they start dating somebody else?
I would suppose so, and I absolutely would be able to live in the same house if it was a separation. If it was a death, that would be a different story.
Well, if it was a death, you're not going to live with him because he's dead.
No, in the house.
Then I think there's a law against that. And what am I missing here? Going inside the courtroom.
You crazy kids.
May I say something? As far as the bills that she's saying, the water bill, I got proof that I pays them bills because she doesn't pay them.
How do you pay the water bill? They take it out every month.
All the bills are in my name.
All the bills is in your name.
Okay, so I get statements and I got my bank records that shows I pay the water bill. Sometimes when
Show me the bank records that you're paying the utilities that she agrees she's supposed to be paying.
Because you got my bank statements where it's the electrical board
ain't
and the
got-
cable.
Let me see it.
Oh, okay. The Netflix, the Amazon is all highlighted.
I see that you have $557 in utility payments that you shouldn't be paying, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Well, here's what you're going to have to do. First of all, on the 557, I find in your favor, and I'm going to order you to pay them because you have agreed that that's the standing order that you have, that standing agreement that you have. I don't like that, you say nothing or you imply that you're going to, whatever, and then you don't. You need to evict her. She's essentially a tenant in your household at this point. You don't have an obligation just because you have male genitalia to support her. Do you understand me? Yeah. So she's now in a house that you totally own. She has no rights to, no marital rights to. So divorce has nothing to do with that asset. That's your asset. You can go ahead and file for an eviction now. I know you don't want to, but that's on you if you don't want to. But that's how you get her out of the house, That's how you get her out of the house because you're going to have the same problem every single month. Right? Get out. Where are you going to go? I know, because this is working out for you, ain't it? So if this is working out for you, then maybe you need to start paying rent. How much is the mortgage?
$1,653 a month.
Is it accurate that it comes out to $1,200 a piece in bills?
I guess. If that's what he say, okay.
Here's what we're going to do. Because you admit to me that when he told you, listen, you have to pull your weight around here now, and you need to start paying rent, you said, yeah, whatever, okay. You basically acceded to it. We're starting with March. What I did was I'm figuring, because you admit that the bills are $1,272, I'm going to go about this a different way. What I'm going to do is see whether you spent, because you have all your bank records for March,
right.
See how much you spent, and in order to get to $1,270, I added everything you spent, and in order to get to $1,272 in March, you would have to pay him an additional $466.83. Because you understand that when you say, because I'm making her in March pay you $1,272, that's taking care of your lawsuit against her on half of March, and it's also taking into account the bills that you paid in March that you showed me. Do you understand? Now, your lawsuit is for suing for half of the mortgage payments since November. You claim that she was supposed to be paying that half in November. But, you have nothing. You don't have texts, you don't have emails, you don't have promissory note, you don't have anything because you're married, right? Which is great, but you're stuck proving to me whatever she admits. So then what I have in front of me is March and April, because all you can go by is the time she agrees that she was going to start paying half of the bills, the $1,272. So for March, I've looked at I have all the March bills here, so I know the utilities that are coming out of hers. And what is left over to reach the $1,272 is an additional $466.83. If it's good enough for March, I'm going to estimate that as well for April. So that figure times 2, I'm ruling in your favor in the amount of $933.66. See you guys.
Thank you.
That was fun. All right.
Well, in this dispute between a married couple, the plaintiff gets $900. Ms. Mitchell, what do you think about what just happened here?
I agree, okay.
You agree? You are easygoing. Easygoing, yeah. What do you think's going to happen between the two of you? You're married. The divorce has been filed, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It
Yes,
hasn't come. It's gonna. Do you think it's going to go through, or what? Do you think you're talking out of it?
Totally up to him.
Totally up to him. Mm-hmm. Are you going to go ahead and pay the rent now and pay the bills, as the judge said?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
All right.
I wish you good luck.
I wish you luck. Have a good one.
Thank you. We can all use it. Now, here comes Mr. Mitchell. This is really an interesting dispute here. Let me ask you about the divorce proceeding. You're going to keep pushing it? You're going to go through with it?
Well, when
What
I
do you
started
think?
divorce proceeding, it was to push her to help me around the house. I mean, as long as she contributes to the bills in the house, I'm good. I'm okay.
So will you cancel the divorce action?
We'll see.
So it's to be determined, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll see. I might have to go down to landlord to the court. No,
Okay, all right. Sure. Thank you very much. What a case. Harvey, what do you think?
So I'm going to give you a piece of advice. It doesn't matter whether you're married or not married, if you have a roommate, that's the point. That never let bills slide from month to month without being paid. It will build resentment, the relationship will fall apart, and it's going to be really ugly in the end. Make sure At the end of every month, there is an accounting, and people square up, and if they don't, you got to figure out what's up. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.